Yeah, hello YouTube. My name is Joseph Jerry, and today I'm going to be showing you or taking you through a video that I'll be making today, and it's about this website. Now, this website is unique because it has a fixed background in sense that while you are scrolling through the page, you see that the text and the image are scrolling while the background is where it is. I'm going to be taking you through this tutorial, and it is very simple. But what I want you to do is to help me subscribe on my YouTube channel, and you can also follow me up on Facebook and also on Twitter. And my Facebook handle is Joseph Jerry, while my Twitter is Joseph Jerry 44. So please don't forget to subscribe. Encourage me. Now, first thing first, for us to develop a website like that, I would want to create a new folder, and inside of that folder I'll be having two subfolders, and one of it would be CSS, and the other folder would be where my image is. Now I would go and copy most of the image I have. All right, you can go online and download, but yeah, I have Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp, and this is going to be the background image for the web. So I'm going to be copying all this, and I'm going to be pasting it inside of this image folder. So you can actually quickly do the same thing, or if you don't have any of this, you can quickly go online and download the pictures and icons or logo for which you will be using to develop or build your own website. And please don't forget, you may likely want the um, image format to be in PNG. So let's start developing. So I'll open this with my Visual Studio Code. In this project, I'll be making use of Visual Studio Code to run my web or to develop my website, because I love this Visual Studio Code because of most of the features it offers, and it helps me do my work faster and very easy. Now here is the our navigation inside of our new folder we created on our desktop. So I would want to create a file inside. I'm going to name it index.html, and inside of my CSS file also I want to create a new file and call it main.css. Now if I go back to that folder and check, I think I'll be having, now this is the index file we just created, and inside of this CSS we have the main file we just created. So these are the beautiful things your Visual Studio Code can actually do for you. So you can install it by going to the website to download. Now you shouldn't forget what we want to do. We would want to develop a website that looks similar like this. Now here we have the brand name and we have a navigation, and it says that when you hover the navigation you would see this sky blue color, and we have a text at the center of this, and it says when we scroll we have this Facebook image at the left, at the right hand side rather, and you have this text and image also at the right. So let's just quickly do a step by step. Now I'm going to, I'll first of all write up my markup language first before styling them. I think that's just a better way to avoid errors. Now first thing I have to create a markup for this by going back to my Visual Studio Code and making this index.html active. So when I type HTML, I will have this. So I may likely want to click on this, then give it a title, and I will also want to connect my style sheet to my HTML. This is the link, and I've connected my style sheet. Now if you see the main.css is inside of the CSS folder here, so you can actually do this to connect. So as for this main.css to be connected to your index, you just have to create a link tag and ref it to the folders which the file or your style sheet is. Now when we're done with that, We won't be needing this because we'll be having to write any JavaScript. So what we'll do first is to create a div. I'm going to be naming stats. You can give it the name you desire, and instead of this div, I'm going to have another div which I'll be naming my menu, and I'll have my h1 for the brand, which I'll title Joseph Jerry Media. And when I'm done with that, I also want to have some list of items. Yeah, so I'll be having the home. I'm going to have also the services, and also I'm going to be having the about us, and I'm going to be having contact us. And let me just go and take a look at it. And if I go back and review, now this is what I have. This will be the header and this will be the nav. So I can go back. Now inside of this menu, I would want to, under it here, I would want to have what I refer to as my front page content. Now the front page content here refers to this one here, the social media, and this dummy text we have at the center of the page. So I may likely want to put it in a container, but I will refer to it as content, and have my h1 as the social media, and also under it I'll have a paragraph text and a lorem of 15 characters. So I think we are almost there. Now if you look, this is starting this, and if I view my page, I will have the same thing here that I have. That means my social media at the center of where my page. Going back to it will be simple. So what next will I do? I would also want to have this text at the left hand side and also have this text, this image at my right hand side, so then we have our footer under it. So it's simple. So I would name this div section under it, and I may likely want to have my paragraph text, and I will also want to give it a span, and you see what I'm going to do with it. I will have my Facebook, and just right close to it I may want to have a break text so as to break down the old lorem text I'm going to be introducing, and that's it. Or I can just give it lorem 50, and we have that. Alright, I think 50 is not enough. Let me say 100. Alright, it's okay. So if I go and check, this is what I'll be having. And yeah, now I have this section. Inside of that section, I'll also have the image tag and the source. Now I have some images already, so I will give this my Facebook page, then give an alternate, maybe call it Facebook logo. And I think I may likely want to copy this section and paste 3 times, so as to change. What I will just do here is to change this to Twitter and change this Facebook to Twitter. Okay, sorry, let me change this to Twitter, and I'll change this third section to WhatsApp, and I'll change this source for WhatsApp. Now think we are okay. Now you see we have the three icons. We have our Facebook, we have our Twitter, and we have our WhatsApp. So it's pretty okay. So now lastly, I would now have to style our footer, and by doing this we'll style it under this start div. Yeah, so we'll style it under the start div, and I want to, if you take a pretty look, we have a straight horizontal line here, and we have our footer. So what I'm going to do is to put a line by having this tag HR tag, and create a footer for this. And instead of that footer, now this tag, I want to give it a center for every content that I'm going to be typing in within that to be a center. So I have a p tag, and I want to have my Joseph Jerry median, and I have asterisk, ampersand, copy, your semicolon to have. Now place a full stop, then all right reserved. Now if we go check this, you see that everything we have is similar. So you see the center tag helped me with my text being at the center of the page. So you can actually make use of such tags if you desire. It's just a center tag, and I believe it's one of the HTML5 tag. I just believe, I don't really know. Maybe I'll make full research on it after this video. We are done with our HTML. Now we want to style this HTML. Now one thing I will do is to close this, and I want to make I'll go to my main.css, and I'm going to split this screen into two. So I will have my HTML at the left hand side, and also have my main.css also at the right hand side, so it will help me, see what I will need to style, instead of trying to like navigate through and through. So it's just off the stress. Now first thing I want to do, I want to have my body, and I want to give my body a margin of 0 pixels, and also a padding of 0 pixels, and I also want to give it a line height of about 25 pixels, and I also want to give it a width. Alright, I'll give it a color. That means all the text should be white, but I'm not going to do that now, because if I do that, you may likely not see what is behind it. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to give a background image URL, and I'm going to locate where I have the image and also have my background, the pg.png. That will be the background for it, and I want to give it a background repeat to be no repeat. I want to give it a background repeat to be no repeat, and also I want to give it a background size, and I'll make it cover, and also I'll give it a width of 100%. Now what this would do is that it will give it a width of 100%. I mean, starting from here to this point, it will give it a width of 100%. That means from this point to this point. It's not looking nice, but I think we're almost there. I will also want to give it an height of 100 VH. That means the VH there is a unit that stands for viewport. What it does is that it starts from the top of this and ends for that. In sense that when I screw, you see where it's stopping. It starts from this top and ends at this point here. That's what the VH does. So you see, when I screw, you have the contents, we have the background not filling up this place, and I may likely want to give this a color of white. Now every text, the texts are there, but you may likely not see them. So now if we check the main website that we are developing, you see that the background is where it is, and in sense that when we screw, the background is still at a fixed position. So what I want to do here is to give this background an attachment, and I'm going to give an attachment of fixed, in sense that the background would be where it is, and when we screw, you see the content is, you can navigate through the content without the image scrolling alongside with what you have. So isn't it beautiful? Now let's work on our UL. I'm going to remove this styling or this bullet, and we're going to make our navigation be at this point. So what I'm going to do is to locate our UL tag, means everything here, and I may likely want to float it to the right, and also give it a padding of 96 pixels, a padding height of 96 pixels, and I also want to give it a margin top of minus 14 pixels. Now let's look at what we've done. Now we have the negative top is just to push this content up a little bit. Yeah, that's what the margin top would do there. And I will work on the list elements there where we have, and what I'm going to do is to remove the style to be none, and I would also have a display to be inline, and I'm going to give the container a padding of 20 pixels, and also give it a font width of bold, and also give it a font family I love this one. Let's look at what we've done so far. And when I refresh this, now you can see how beautiful it is. You can see how beautiful it is. We have our navigation bar. Now what I will do is now to talk to the li and give it the over effect, and whenever I hover it, I want to have a sky blue color. So you see, very beautiful. And I'll now think we're done with the navigation here. Now let's move to this content that we have here. So the content we'll be having, I would tackle my h1, and in my h1 I want to give a text transform of capitalized, and I also want to give it a margin of 0 pixels and a padding top of 60 pixels and a padding left of 96 pixels, and also give it maybe a font size of R or 40 points. Now I like using the PT because that's one of the attributes of Microsoft Word, making use of, instead of pixels, I love using the PT so as I can visualize how big my text would be when I refresh. Now this is what we've been able to do here. We've been able to capture our header, and also we've been able to do what, capture this as well. Now the h1 is also applying for this here that you have here, the h1. Now because for every content in your menu, remember we had the class menu, and we have h1 here, and we also have h1 inside of this. So there is an inheritance for this h1 and for this particular h1 here also. So every h1 inside of your menu, that's what this effect will apply on. And now I want to speak to this h1 and also the values that are inside this content. So I may likely use my, sorry about that, my content dot content, and instead of that content I will give it a margin of, let's say, okay, let me say a margin top, because I want to bring it down, a margin top of 200 pixels, and let's see if that's cool, right? And would also want to give a text align of center, right? That's beautiful. And also we want to give it a margin right, so as you see, if you look at the spacing from here to this point, this side looks more like it's longer, bigger than this, so we'll give it a margin right of 90 pixels, and if you check that, okay, perfect. So I think we're done with, now if you look properly, we're done with just exactly what we have here. We have been able to get this and also get this content here, so we can also do the same thing. So now let's start working with our section. Now our section here has the Facebook with this font size and have a font type of, I think, JavaScript, and we have the image of probably a width, and we have a lot of things to do here. So let's just get ahead with it. I'll go back to my Visual Studio Code, and yeah, let's talk to this span that we have inside of our section. Now, because I know we only have, when we say whatever I'm going to be doing inside of this place, or whatever attributes I'll be applying, or property I'll be applying, will apply to all of the span we have for the three section. Now, inside my span, I want to have a font width of bold, and I also want to have a font size of 36 points and a font family of Aluda. So I love this font. Let's see what we have been able to do for all the span. I think it looks beautiful. Oh, I have to correct that. Alright. Okay. Now let me also talk to the images we have. And inside of this image, I would give it a width of 40% and maybe an height of auto. And if I view this, whoa, it's too big, I think. Let me remove it. Okay, I think it's very rich. Now, what I'll do here, now I want to talk to the paragraph. So I'm going to be having a span of this paragraph, and in front of it, so my paragraph, I want to give a property of font family of C goes script, and I also want to give this a width of 50%. Now what this would do is that, okay, let me see what about, okay, now what is happening is that my selector, so I'll change this to section. All right, I see how beautiful it is. Now inside of my width, inside of my section, I also want it to float right. Now what will happen here is that when we had the image tag, we actually gave the image a width of 40%, and we also gave our paragraph a 50%. So What I'm going to do here is going to be simple. Is that when I float this to be left, sorry, when I float to left, all of them would just align in an inline way. I think grid will actually do this better. Now we have our image here, we have our content here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to give this a padding right of 100 pixels. Let me see. And under now, if you look properly, I will want to shift this Facebook and the image below. So I will come down at dot section and actually give it a margin of 0 pixels. I'll give it a margin of 0 pixels and 96 pixels. Now to give it a margin of 0 top and bottom of 0 pixels, and you have a space at the left and right. So this is like a shortcut for top and bottom, left and right. Now when I'm done with that, I will also want to bring it down a little. So I'll say padding bottom of 100 pixels. So it has given a space in between each section that we have, and I think it's okay. So what I will just want to do, I want to give a space here. So I will go straight to this content here, and instead of this content, I would give a padding bottom I'll give a padding button or bottom of 300 pixels, and you notice the text is below it. So guys, I think we have reached the final stage, and I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel to learn more. I appreciate you so much for visiting my channel, and I just want to say thank you so much. So we'll meet some other